And we began with breaking news. A New York judge has granted Donald Trump's request to file a motion to dismiss his hush money case, and his sentencing is now indefinitely postponed. So let's get right to Kara Scannell. What does this mean for Trump's case, Kara?
Well, Pam, this is widely expected because both Trump's team and the prosecutors had signaled to the judge that they were ready to litigate this further, right? Trump's lawyers had asked for permission to file a motion to dismiss the case because Trump is now president-elect and heading into the White House. And prosecutors said that they wanted to go that course, too. They wanted to fight to uphold the conviction. And so they presented this to the judge earlier in the week, and both sides saying that, they acknowledge that Trump's sentencing has to be postponed in this case because, as prosecutors noted, they expect there to be many appeals here. So this was expected. The judge is now officially postponing Trump's sentencing. No future date has been set, so it is indefinitely. And he set out a briefing schedule for them to get these legal arguments underway. So he's saying that Trump's team needs to file their motion to dismiss by December 9th. Prosecutors will have 1 week to file their response, and then the judge will take this under consideration. This also means that he is not issuing his decision on presidential immunity at this moment, saying that that is also on hold until after he gets all of these legal briefs. So this is the first step in what will be the next stage of this case as they continue to litigate whether this conviction stands. Pam?
All right, Kara Scannell, thanks so much. And joining us now to discuss is former U.S. Attorney and former Deputy Assistant Attorney General Harry Litman. Harry, what do you think about this? Is this a surprise with all the questions about the case after Trump won the election? Did Merchan have a choice here, frankly?
Oh, he had a choice, but as Kara says, it's not a surprise in that both parties asked for it. But technically, whether to do his motion to dismiss and whether to sentence him are separate. And you could have just gone ahead with the sentencing and just kept them separate. But this is a nod to what everyone has agreed are the exceptional circumstances of a felon, of a criminal convict who's about to take the White House. And obviously, Merchan is thinking, if I do grant this whole motion to dismiss, which is based on immunity and the supposed constitutional prohibition on doing anything criminal with a president who's in the White House, then everything goes away and I don't have to sentence. One thing that's important to note, this is not a suggestion by Merchan that, we'll put this off for 4 years. If he doesn't dismiss, then he will go forward with the sentencing, although not immediately because, as Kara points out, there will be these series of appeals. But it's not the same as putting it in the ether forever.
All right, so then what's next here?
December 2nd, about a week, Trump files his motion saying, I'm going to be president-elect. You can't do this. The Constitution can't impinge on my service in that way. December 9th, the DA responds, and then Merchan decides. If he decides I'm not dismissing, appeals will start there. He would be technically able to continue with sentencing, or he might, bowing to practicality, wait until those appeals run their course, and they could take a while. Then when they do, if he's affirmed, big if, because this could go all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court, then 2025 or something, we're back to sentencing when everyone hardly remembers what this whole case was about. But it's not the same as saying the whole thing is vaporized, as the two federal cases will be, unless Merchan grants this motion to dismiss based on immunity grounds, which would be an extension of what the Supreme Court did last year.
So if he does move forward with sentencing, do you think we could ever see President Trump actually serve time? Is that even a realistic possibility at this point?
So it's a legal possibility, and it's just that everything has had these imponderable twists and turns that makes me say, wow, it's hard to actually see that day of the prison door swinging open. But people who are convicted for what he's convicted of do see time, and there's more reason, given how he was in the trial, to give him time. But man, oh man, between now and then, we're in not just an obstacle course, but one in which each obstacle is completely unknown to the legal system, which is obviously bending here to the political reality.
Really quick, what do you mean by what we saw in the trial with him that, he should have more time?
He violated repeated gag orders. He was not at all contrite. Those are the sorts of things that a sentencing judge would consider in deciding whether to give some time in jail here.
All right, Harry Litman, thank you so much.